the arising of true knowledge and thereafter eradication of defilements. I hope now you have some understanding that when the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind come into contact with their respective objects, the five aggregates, form, feeling, perception, mental formations and consciousness arise and cease. Not knowing these aggregates as impermanent, anicca, unsatisfactory, dukkha, and non-self, anatta, one clings to them through craving, perceiving them as permanent, pleasurable, and belonging to a self. This grasping, upadana, causes the accumulation of the five clinging aggregates, suffering. Consequently, when these clung to phenomena change, decay, and prove impermanent, suffering inevitably arises. This is not some grand complexity, it is simply our habitual delusion and ignorance of reality that creates the entanglement. When one fully comprehends with wisdom that all phenomena, the aggregates, khanda, elements, dhatu, and sense bases, ayatana, arise due to conditions and cease when conditions cease, hetum paṭicca sambhutam, hetu bhanga nirujhati, they no longer accumulate the five clinging aggregates. This is the realization of the Four Noble Truths, the destruction of lust, raga, hatred, dosa, and delusion, moha, the cessation of formations, saṅkara nirodha, and the complete eradication of all defilements, in other words, the attainment of nibbana. However, realization of the ultimate truth is not easy due to the taints within us. In the Saṃyutta Sutta, the Buddha explains 7 ways to abandon the taints: by seeing the sana through right view, sammaditi; by restraint, samvara, through moral discipline, sila; by wise reflection, patisavana, through discernment, jnana; by endurance, adhivasana, through patience, khanti; by avoidance, parivajana; by shunning unwholesome states; by removal, vinodana, through diligent effort, virya; by mental development, bhavana, meditation. When one walks the Noble Eightfold Path, the deep-rooted defilements, taints within begin to gradually dissolve. This is the very path of liberation, realized step by step through these 4 stages. A stream enterer, sotapanna, eradicates identity, view, doubt, and attachment to rituals. Such a one is firmly established on the path and is assured of attaining enlightenment within 7 lifetimes. A once returner, sakadagami, significantly weakens sensual desire and ill will and is reborn in the human world only once more before reaching liberation. The non-returner, anagami, completely abandons the 5 lower fetters and is reborn in a pure abode, sudhavasa, where they attain final nibbana. An arhat fully eliminates all 10 fetters, including conceit, restlessness, and ignorance. They achieve complete liberation, free forever from birth, aging, and death, the land that Buddha taught us to live in. Dear friends, in the Cakkavatti Sihanada Sutta, the Buddha advises us to dwell in the land inherited from our father. This is not a physical place, but the noble way of life rooted in the Dhamma. As one walks the Noble Eightfold Path with sincerity, step by step, one comes to dwell in that very land of virtue, wisdom, and true safety revealed by the Buddha himself. To dwell in the territory inherited from our father means to abide diligently in mindfulness of yourself. This, monks, is your true ancestral domain, your refuge. The 4 foundations of mindfulness, satipatthana. The Buddha's instruction on self-reliance and Dhamma refuge. Monks, dwell with yourselves as your own refuge, with yourselves as your own island, with no other refuge. Dwell with the Dhamma as your refuge, with the Dhamma as your island, with no other refuge. And how, monks, does a monk dwell with himself as his own refuge, with no other refuge, with the Dhamma as his refuge, with no other refuge? A monk dwells observing the body in the body, with effort, with clear comprehension, with mindfulness, having removed craving and aversion for the world. He remains fully aware and mindful with a concentrated and clear mind to know the body as it truly is. Dwelling with effort, with wisdom, with a unified and collected mind, and with a clear and purified mind, he observes feelings in feelings again and again with mindfulness and concentration. Dwelling with effort, with wisdom, with a unified and clear mind, he observes the minds in minds repeatedly with calm concentration and clarity. Dwelling with effort, with wisdom, with one-pointed and purified mind, he repeatedly observes mental phenomena in mental phenomena. in accordance with absolute reality, with calm and focused awareness. Thus, does a monk dwell with himself as his own refuge, with no other refuge, with the Dhamma as his refuge, with no other refuge, the protected territory, until liberation. What is unfit territory? The five strands of sensual pleasure, sights that are enticing, delightful, intoxicating, and bound to craving, sounds that are enticing, delightful, intoxicating, and bound to craving, scents that are enticing, delightful, intoxicating, and bound to craving, tastes that are enticing, delightful, intoxicating, and bound to craving, touches that are enticing, delightful, intoxicating, and bound to craving. These monks are the unfit territories. Monks dwell in your ancestral domain, the territory passed down by your spiritual forefathers. Dear friends, the Buddha compassionately pointed out the path to true safety, not in sensual pleasures or worldly distractions, but in the land of mindfulness and wisdom. To dwell in the ancestral domain is to live anchored in the four foundations of mindfulness, guided by the Noble Eightfold Path. Let us not wander in the unfit territory of craving, but instead abide where the Buddha instructed, with ourselves as our refuge and the Dhamma as our true home. May we all walk this path with diligence, and may it lead us to the final liberation.